And yes, so good morning. Thanks for joining. Finding your space. We're going to start off with some movement, some mobilization and some qigong. And then for the last 10 minutes or so, we'll just do some seated breath work again, because I know people are enjoying the seated breath work too. So finding some space that you have around you where you can move freely. A little bit of space in front, a little bit of space side to side. And let's start off with our feet shoulder width apart. We'll go for a little bit of bend in the knees and just a nice morning stretch, a good breathing in and breathing out. Keep everything in and out through the nose with the breath. So breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. Tilting the pelvis too, so you're spilling out the front of the pelvis and then you're spilling out the back of the pelvis. You can keep facing the camera. I'm just going to show you side to side. So we're just expanding, opening, tilting the pelvis like that there. And then as we tuck the pelvis underneath, we just round ourselves up into a little ball. Keep the knees bent. It's tempting as you're opening up here to lean back, so make sure you're not leaning back. So you just do a nice movement of the spine. Open up the front of the chest, open up the front of the spine. Then really round so you can feel that space in the shoulder blades there. It's literally just like a nice wake up stretch. I like the idea of thinking of opening up the front of the spine here, pushing that spine forwards, which opens the chest. Let's do just a couple more in your own time, finding your own rhythm. And then when you're ready, just taking a rest. And have a little bit of shake out of the arms, shake out of the hands, shake out of the legs and the feet. Let's go a little bit wider, so shoulder and a half width apart. What am I thinking? A pint first thing in the morning. Turn your feet out ever so slightly. And then just making sure that those knees, as they go down a little bit, slide over the feet. So watch that your knees aren't dropping in or dropping out. And we're just lowering the center of gravity, almost without over tightening the glutes there. Almost think of tucking the pelvis underneath a little bit, just so we don't go into a squat here. So if I show you from the side, you're literally just lowering your center of gravity. You've got your pelvis, spine on top of the pelvis, you're just lowering that a little bit. It's tempting again to do that type of movement. We're not leaning forwards or hinging at the hips. So we're just dropping down and then coming back up to standing. Keep it nice and comfortable for yourself, so not forcing anything. It's giving you that little stretch in the hips. Giving you that little stretch in the groin as well. Just lower a little bit. Come back a bit so you can see my feet. Lower. Push up through the ground. And then we'll bring that opening of the chest, that long meridian stretch in as well. So pushing out to the sides And then softening as you come back up to standing, relaxing the arms, pushing out. Breathing in as you stand up, breathe out as you push. Imagine just pushing walls away to the side there. Getting in the way of the tree. It's nice and stretched. So you can put as much tension as you need through that stretch, but really lengthen out the arms. Imagine you've got a little bit of resistance as you're pushing away there. But keep the breathing smooth, easy. And as always, just finding your rhythm. Let's do one more. Good, and then take a rest. Walking your feet back in. Again, have a little shake out. And then come back to your shoulder width apart stance. Soften the knees, and then just knocking. So we're just rotating. Really relaxing the shoulders and the arms. So the arms literally just dangling. Keep lifting through the crown. Keep that head balanced on top of the spine. It's just a glance side to side. You don't have to do a big twist side to side. Breathing is just light and soft in and out through the nose. And then gradually slowing it down into water waves. So here we add that little bit of resistance to the arm movement. Really slow. I always bend a little bit more in the knees. I always just lower a little bit. Go slow, 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 slow. Soften the fingers and soften the wrists. Soften the elbows. Good. And then take a rest. Let's move into a few qigong flow movements. Let's start off with baby bird, which is a really nice one just for getting that spine moving, for relaxing the shoulders. Back of the hands come together here. There's a little bit of lean or hinge forwards. Arms come up the center line. Now imagine you've got like a string on your elbows. So strings lifting your elbows, that keeps the shoulders down. The elbows come to shoulder height, and then somebody lets go of the strings, the elbows drop, and then the arms just follow. But again, we're not just letting go as the elbows drop, there's that softness. And just think of a little baby bird as it's trying to fly, it's learning to fly, can't quite open its wings. Breathing in and then breathing out. And remember, the flows are not just arm movements, the whole body is involved. So that spine extends, it's a bit like a very mini spinal cord breathing, very subtle lengthening and extending of the spine. Maybe a little bit of a weight shift forwards, feeling of that standing a little bit taller. Again, with the flow, it's not about trying to move in a particular way, it's just allowing the body just to move with the least amount of effort, guided by the breath. Expanding and then softening. And then let's transition this into the fountain, so it's a slightly bigger movement. So we have a slight hinge forwards now, and then really extend and lengthen the spine, and then out to the side. So it's lengthening, breathing in, and breathing out. And the breath is just light, calm. And if it feels too challenging to lengthen the breath that much, just breathe lightly and softly in and out through the nose. Couple more. Taking a moment. And then one palm facing up, a little bit of roundness there in the elbows, just a little bit of centering, coming down the center line. So you almost like create finger and thumb down the center line, and then swap. It's really just centering yourself, bringing the energy into your center, into that lower dantian area. And then take a moment before pulling down the heavens, pulling down the sky. And then just interlocking your thumbs, resting on the lower dantian, bringing the feet together. And just closing your eyes. I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes now, just eyes closed. And just letting your body sway, rock, find its natural balance. Standing posture, bamboo in the wind. A combination of strength and flexibility. Which promotes growth and resilience. Just tuning in with the breath, just noticing the breath, the softness, the lightness of the physical sensation of the air, just as it flows in and out through the nose. And then when you're ready, just in your own time, slightly fuller breath in, opening your eyes at the top of that breath, stepping out, giving yourself a gentle brush down, and then just taking your time just to come to a sitting position, a comfortable sitting position. We're just going to spend the final 7 minutes or so just doing some seated breath work. That was really interesting actually, as I was doing the bamboo in the wind there, because there was a dust lorry, there was the what do they call it, rubbish lorry making noises at the back, there was a plane going over, and then suddenly the lorry moved away and the plane had gone over, and I was like, I could just stand here for the rest of the day. It was really nice. It was interesting, those sounds that I could hear, and then it just went into silence. So a little practice we're going to do now is just really bring our attention to nasal breathing, and how just breathing in and out through the nose. All nasal breathing is closing your mouth and breathing in and out through the nose. It's something that from when we're teaching Oxygen Advantage, it's the basic principle, it's the first principle of as and when you can breathe in and out through the nose. So many benefits. You're warming the air, you're slowing the airflow, which actually sounds a bit counterintuitive, but that does help to increase oxygenation of the blood. You are filtering the air, so you're filtering out any bacteria, any viruses, hopefully killing the viruses. We're creating a gas called nasal nitric oxide in the nasal cavity, and when you breathe this in, this helps to again open up the airways and get better oxygen uptake from the lungs into the blood. So starting off, finding a comfortable position where you're seated. As I say, as long as you're comfortable for the next 5 minutes now, and stable on the ground. That's important because subconsciously, if you're stable, supported on the ground, then your mind knows I'm not going to be distracted. I can sit in this position for a while. I'm comfortable and I'm safe. So that automatically helps to focus the breath. And nice and strong through the spine. Lengthen the spine, but making sure that we're not tightening and becoming rigid. So this is a really good practice every so often, just to sit with this strong spine, then relaxing the face, relaxing the forehead, relaxing the brow, relaxing the eyebrows, softening and relaxing into the cheekbones and the jaw. And you can have your eyes closed or open, whatever works for you. So it's always good to remember strong spine or strong back of the body, sort of like softer front of the body. And relaxing the face, again, it's another one of those tricks, if you like, that sends that signal of safety to the mind. If your face is relaxed, you can't be stressed. So relaxing the face. And just as we were doing there in the end of Bamboo in the Wind, just noticing the breath, just as it gently flows in and out through the nose. So here we're not changing anything. We're just allowing the body just to breathe, just as it wants to breathe. Breathe just the right amount of air. Not too much, not too little. Very much like bamboo in the wind, you're just letting the body do what it needs to do. All too often in workouts and breath work, that word work comes into play, and we're wanting to be doing something. Just allow the breath to be natural, soft, effortless. And as you notice maybe that your mind has drifted, which is normal, just gently guide your attention back to that physical sensation of the air as it flows in and out through the nose. Notice the change in temperature, slightly cooler. Even if you're indoors, slightly cooler as you're breathing in. And now we're just going to add an intentional breathing pattern. So there is the distinction between you there, just allowing the breath to be natural, to now adding an intentional breathing pattern to the breath. I'll explain it first and then we'll practice it together. When we start, I'll ask you to breathe in to a count of 4. I will count that count, so you breathe in for 4 seconds. We're going to hold the breath at the top of the breath for 7 seconds. And then we're going to breathe out slowly, calmly for 8 seconds. And we're going to repeat that 3 times. Obviously, when we then breathe in for 4, you'll need that little bit more air. So you'll be breathing in a slightly increased volume to what you're breathing now. But the idea is to not overbreathe, not to pull the air in. So that air still flows in calmly and with relaxation as you breathe in. So just noticing the breath now, normal breathing. And then just taking a breath out. And breathing in, 2, 3, 4. And hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. In, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then just give yourself time to let the breath settle. So that's almost like an elongated calming sigh. And then when you're ready, if you have your eyes closed, opening up your eyes, maybe having another little stretch, another little twist is always good. So the idea of that 4, 7, 8 is, again, just to help you even more just relax and down-regulate. It's a bit like spinal cord. It's a bit like, it's nice. Breath in, breath out, calming and relaxing. Good, good, good. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed the session. If you did, come back on Thursday. I will see you then when we'll do a little bit more of our functional movement and qigong combined together. Have a great day. Take care. Bye. Bye-bye.